Hi, and welcome to Comics and Cosplay. As always, I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay. And in this video, I wanted to do a quick little rundown of my thoughts on the Marvel keynote and press event in which they announced all the movies for their upcoming Phase 3 movie series. And specifically, I want to talk about my feelings about the Black Panther movie, since I think this has been one of the biggest hot button issues in the Marvel universe and in terms of Marvel Studios' production schedule. So essentially, my overall feelings about Black Panther are kind of meh. I mean, I'm not that as amped up as a lot of other people are that you see on the internet. I know people are going to say, oh, you're just being an old curmudgeon and you're never happy. I mean, you should be thankful that they're finally giving, a black character their own standalone movie. But I can't really get too excited for something they should have done ages ago. I mean, I could maybe buy into the argument that, Black Panther wasn't in the first Avengers movie because they wanted to be true to the first Avengers comic. However, albeit, there was no Black Widow in that, but they made the exception to put her there. But I definitely think he should have had his own movie in Phase 2 and shouldn't be, relegated to having his own movie potentially in 2017. And he definitely should have been a part of Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. And another reason why I'm kind of meh about this, and another good reason why people should probably get off DC's back and maybe give them some credit once in a while for maybe making the right things happen is, it seems most likely that Marvel is doing the Black Panther movie because of all the pressure created by DC's announcement that Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, was going to be in the next Batman Superman movie, as well as he was going to get his own standalone movie in the future. And I think there's kind of the proof of this was the fact that, we hadn't heard any rumors or any kind of casting probability names floated out there for the Black Panther movie prior to this announcement. I mean, this all just kind of came out of the floodgates, which makes me think this was more of a last-minute addition to the Phase 3 announcement that Marvel kind of quickly tried to hurry and get this idea together and put it out there so they wouldn't look so bad for, the fact that DC gave their D-list black character a movie before Marvel could even give their B-list character one. And so I just think, a lot of my feelings are wrapped up that I wish Marvel was still being the forward-thinking company that they were in the past when they created Black Panther, the first black mainstream character. And I think Marvel Studios really missed an opportunity to, stand out and set the tone in Hollywood. Because let's be honest, there aren't a lot of black superhero characters that young kids can look up to or, black people in general can relate to because they're so few and far between. However, I do want to give Marvel some praise that I think they did a smart decision in casting Chadwick Boseman as the new Black Panther. Now, he wasn't my initial first choice, but I do think he's a very capable actor and has done some impressive work, especially what he did in the movie 42. But even more importantly in the casting decision that I think is important and key to highlight is the fact that they didn't commit the Hollywood atrocity that I call light skinning, which is essentially where anytime they need a black character or need to use someone of African American descent, they find the most light-skinned person they can find that's almost, passable looking to play said character. And I find that personally insulting when I see that happen because, it says to me and society at large that, the only heroic or good people worth putting on TV that are black are light and fair-skinned people. So I think it was smart to, pay homage to the backstory of this character and not commit some atrocity like Fox did with Halle Berry in casting her as Storm. As for the rest of the stories, I don't think there's anything worthy of a huge discussion. The only kind of maybe surprising or shocking news was the announcement of the Captain Marvel movie. Because like I mentioned before, all these other ideas and movie premises had already been floated out in the waters by Marvel to test and see how people would react to the ideas of these concepts being turned into movies. That said, I do think female readers should also be kind of pissed off and upset that it's going to take to 2018 for there to be the first standalone female movie. This should have happened way in advance, just like the Black Panther movie. However, with all that said, I do find it curious that Captain Marvel was the first female character to get a standalone movie, rather than other female characters in the Marvel Universe that are much more prominent and have a richer and deeper backstory in history. I suspect the reason she got the nod was due to the fact that since she's kind of more of a space cosmic character, she ties in a lot better to where they ultimately want to take the Marvel franchises to the Infinity War in Avengers 3. Even so, I've read a lot of the Captain Marvel stuff that exists now, and even her old stuff as Miss Marvel, and I don't know if there's a great, standalone story that's deserving of having its own movie. So I'm curious to see what they do there. But I understand kind of why it's happening, because, Captain Marvel, just like Hansel, is so hot right now, so they figure why not capitalize on it while they can. So those are my thoughts on the Black Panther movie announcement. like I said, I'm glad he's finally getting his own movie. I wish it had come a lot sooner, but I'm not going to be over the moon just because they announced a movie, because 2017 is a long ways away. Things can be delayed and pushed back. And I think, a good amount of healthy skepticism is good. I think that's ultimately why I end up enjoying a lot of these movies way more than other people, because, my expectations haven't gone through the roof of, thinking they're going to do everything and it's going to be magical and there's going to be glitter and unicorns. This good amount of grounding helps you, keep it level so that you can enjoy the movie ultimately when it comes out more. Anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Are you excited for the Black Panther movie? Do you think it's, going to be great and magical? Or are you kind of like me and like, let's see what they do here. I mean, they don't have the best track record, but... So let me know in the comment section down below. I'm eager to hear and see how you feel about the new Black Panther. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comics and Cosplay so you can see all of my random musings in real time about various cosplay events, as well as my links to other cosplayers and great tutorials. As well as don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like it, as we have a lot of other news and commentary pieces, as well as cosplay tutorials like the one we just did on the Destiny cosplay makeup tutorial on how you can make yourself look like an Awoken just in time for Halloween. Well, that's my show for today. As always, I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay, and I'll see you on the con floor.